Good Karma Brands radio station.
Michael K. is on the radio today, and he ain't afraid to say what he's thinking. It's the Michael K. Show on 880 ESPN Radio.
No Michael K.
No Michael K.
Jake Asman in for Michael, taking you till 3. Hope everyone's having a good day so far. The weather outside coming into the studio today here in Soho is quite fitting if you're a Giants fan watching that disgraceful performance last night. The weather is just as bad today as it was for the Giants' performance last night. That was brutal, and Joe Schoen is expected to speak to the media today at 1:45. That's right. The GM, who the ownership group of the Giants has already said will be leading the search for the next head coach, will speak to the press today at 1:45, and that is because it's the Giants' bye week. It's the last possible week you could have a bye in the NFL, and the Giants have finally hit their bye week. So the good news is, the Giant fan, you don't need to watch your team this week, because why would you want to watch them ever for the remainder of the season after that last night? What a disgrace. And there's so many angles you could start with this game. Well, let's start with the big picture. Joe Schoen speaking today. What's the point? Unless Joe Schoen gets up there 45 minutes from now and says he's resigning as the GM, this press conference should not happen. He should not have a job. I don't like calling for people's jobs, but I'm sorry. Brian Dable's been fired. Shane Bowen's been fired. Who's next? We got to fire the special teams coordinator now after last night? Like, enough is enough. That was a disgrace. That was an embarrassment. Allowing 30 points in the first half? Really? New England's a really good team, but that is unacceptable. Unacceptable. Abdul Carter having to, again, be benched because he can't show up to anything on time? You think that would ever happen if Michael Strahan was on the team? Or O.C. Umenyiora? Or Justin Tuck? Where's the leadership on the Giants? Not just coaches, players. This guy was the third pick in the draft. And you see when he plays how talented and how special he could be. He comes in, he immediately wrecks the game for a couple drives. Not that it mattered. But what a joke. And again, where's the leadership on this team? And then Jaxson Dart, bad enough he's taking that hit, which was totally legal by Ellis last night. But then after the game, I think it's almost even worse when he's defiantly saying, I'm not going to change. I played this way my whole life. Turn on my high school tape. Dude, you're in the NFL. I don't care what you did in high school. I don't care what you did at Ole Miss. As talented as you are, if you can't be available, what's the point? And people could say, we're overblowing, all the times he's been hit and looked at for a concussion. No, we're not. He's averaged 10 hits a game. The best thing Jaxson Dart can do is be available for his team. If he's not available for his team, I don't care how talented the guy is. And he's defiant about not changing his play style, despite the fact it was reported a bunch of teammates and coaches were emphasizing while he was out with the concussion that he needs to change his play style. I mean, what a joke. I won't even mention in great detail the Younghoe Koo missed field goal that was reminiscent of Charlie Brown in his heyday. But you have that gaffe. You have a top 3 pick who can't show up to work on time. You have the young quarterback who won't take any steps to try and protect himself from vicious hits. And you have a Giants team that for the second straight year was the first team in the NFL to be eliminated, officially eliminated. But the general manager sticking around? What? On what planet should Joe Schoen be allowed to assist in the selection of the next coach? You fire Shane Bowen after you surrendered 5 double-digit leads this year, including 3 in the fourth quarter. And the very next game under the interim DC, you allow 30 first-half points and nearly 300 yards. It was the worst half for Giants football over their last 256 games. How can the general manager be allowed to pick the next coach? You were humiliated last night. Interim head coach, interim OC, interim DC. Everything has collapsed with this organization, and the general manager gets to pick the coach? Are you kidding me? I don't care what the Giants do over their final 4 games. We've seen enough. If you're a Giants fan, you've seen enough. You don't get the 2-11 by accident, as Jordan Renan would say, and he's right. And last year, 3-14, and they tried to pin it all on bad quarterback play. Well, guess what? You've had better quarterback play this year. The offensive line has actually been the best it's been in a while, and you still stink. So how's the general manager going to assist with the selection of the next head coach? How does that make any sense for anyone with a brain? They're 3-22 in their last 25 games, 5-25 over their last 30. They're 5-17-1 against the NFC East. They're 2-14 against the Eagles and the Cowboys. Joe Schoen is 20-43-1 overall. Why is he holding a press conference in 40 minutes as the GM of the Giants? That press conference should be him resigning, or it shouldn't happen. He should go. I mean, that is as bad of a performance as you'll see in a primetime game. The Giants are a laughingstock. This is where the Jets usually are. But the mighty Giants and their brand has been tarnished by every year outside of the one outlier year with Dable and Shane, with Dave Gettleman's roster. That first year they win 9 games and won a playoff game. Outside of that, and the 1 year in 2016 with Eli Manning when they made the playoffs and lost to the Packers, also known as the boat trip season for Giants fans, this franchise has been horrible. They've had the worst record in the league since 2017, worse than the Jets. And like every aspect of this game last night was just putrid. How about Mike Kafka deciding to punt on 4th and 1 down 27-7? I mean, has there ever been more of a I'm waving the white flag moment? You want to be the head coach of the Giants, Kafka, and you're waving the white flag? You're down 27-7. It's a 4th and short, 4th and 1, and you're not going for it? Why? This team is just directionless, and that starts with the GM, and it's amazing to me because the people that try to defend Joe Schoen, I won't name names, but there's some pathetic people that are clearly catching a check from Schoen or the Giants in this town. The argument to keep Joe Schoen is, oh, you modernized the Giants front office. Like he taught the Giants scouts how to use PowerPoint, so that means he's got to be the GM going forward? Would he tell them to get an iPhone so they can have a big group chat on iMessage? I mean, seriously? The results have not improved. In back-to-back seasons, under 2 different head coaches, this team loses 1-possession games. At what point do we say this is a issue that is just beyond blaming only the coach? This is an organizational issue. Who puts the team together? Joe Schoen's responsible for all this. Why does he deserve to be the GM and Brian Dable doesn't? You know, last year, Joe Schoen said they were comfortable losing players like Saquon Barkley and Xavier McKinney because they had these strong replacements they felt like they drafted. Remember that, Giants fans? I know you do. Well, Barkley last year had one of the greatest seasons of all time. It was the reason why the arch rival of the Giants won a championship. And then, oh yeah, Xavier McKinney last year was a first-team All-Pro. And the replacements that the Giants had, have they been better this year? No. Abdul Carter now, right? That was supposed to be like the home run can't miss pick. Did they do an evaluation on Abdul Carter's character? Right, because I checked in with some people that cover Penn State. He missed meetings all the time at Penn State, too. That's why the guy that had the story before anyone else on the Giants beat or anyone nationally is a guy named Richie O'Leary. And Richie covers college football. He used to cover Penn State. So he has sources that told him Abdul Carter would miss meetings at Penn State as well, but he was a freak player, so guess what? He played. James Franklin needed him to play there. So, did the Giants know this? Did they do any research into this? They still took him 3rd overall. Again, Abdul Carter needs to grow up. It's mind-boggling. Again, what is the justification for Joe Schoen to speak today at 1:45? Why? Unless he's resigning, he should not be the Giants general manager anymore. It's enough. It's enough. The Giant fan deserves better. This is a joke. You don't fire one and not the other when they came in together in Dable and Shane's case. You don't. That's what the Jets tried to do multiple times, and look where it's gotten them the last 15 years. They fire Mike Tannenbaum. They retain Rex Ryan. By doing that, you get a worse candidate to be your GM. Are the Giants are going to be able to get top coaches to want to take their job, but they got to work with Joe Schoen? Really? Because he taught the guys in the Giants front office how to use, Microsoft PowerPoint. We got to keep him. He modernized the front office. Please. Go look at the 2023 draft for Joe Schoen and the Giants. How's that draft looking today? Every single player picked in 2023 is a bust. Deonte Banks, John Michael Schmitz, Jalen Hyatt, Eric Gray, Trey Hawkins, Jordan Riley. JMS is the best player of those players I just mentioned. Think about that. He whiffed on every pick. Abdul Carter, major question marks now. And if you want to give Shane credit for making the trade up for Dart, that's fine. But guess what? The Giants' in-house media team published a video of where it is clear that was all Dable saying, this is my guy, I got to get him. And then Shane responds to him saying, hey, we did the research. You believe in him. We got to roll the dice. Clearly setting it up where it's like, if this doesn't work out, hey, this is a Dable pick. This is him. And we know it's a Dable pick because guess why Jaxson Dart started Game 4 when he was supposed to sit for most of the year? When the Giants were leaking stories to people in the media, oh, no, this is Russell Wilson's team now. Dart is developing. And then a week later, after they lose to the Chiefs, who starts against the Chargers? I mean, come on. The idea that Joe Schoen could have a job and Brian Dable does not, they both got to go. It's unacceptable. The Giant fan is too smart to allow this organization to try and tell you that, there's so much talent here and it's all just a coaching problem. Just like it was all a quarterback problem a year ago. You blamed it all on the quarterback, and now what? You're actually getting good quarterback play. Whether it's been Dart or when Jameis is filled in, and it hasn't mattered. You're still losing. Please tell me where all this talent is with the Giants. Enough. Stop telling me about all this talent they have. They don't have it. They don't. There is not all this talent on this team. And even if they had a lot of talent, there's a culture issue clearly. When the third pick in the draft doesn't even bother to show up to meetings on time, but every other player on the team seems to be able to do that just fine. You got the franchise quarterback saying, I'm not changing my play style. Check my high school tape. This is who I be. Are you serious? I mean, it's a joke, man. And I thought that was a telling image before the end of the half last night, or right at halftime, as Brian Burns is just sitting there on the sideline just shaking his head, being like, what is going on, man? I mean, last night was embarrassing. Embarrassing from the general manager, the interim head coach, the interim DC, almost every player on that team. That was a disgrace. A disgrace. There's no other way to put it. And the Giant fan, they deserve better. There's been way too much losing here. And again, the Giants need someone who's been a head coach before to clean up this mess. That's what they really need. They need someone that has actually won something in this league and not a first-time coordinator getting the opportunity to be a head coach. They need someone that could stabilize things. They need a Mike Tomlin-like figure if he actually would become available, if it's gotten too stale in Pittsburgh. They need Mike McCarthy, who won in Green Bay and won 12 games 3 out of his 5 years a season under Jerry Jones and the Cowboys. They need someone who's been a successful head coach before, because this is a mess. Again, last year, Shane said it was all on the quarterback. Last year, Shane said they were fine moving on from Saquon to McKinley because they had the replacements on their team they feel good about. Oh, it's all Brian Dable. Blame him. We have the talent. No, you don't. Enough. Again, you're 2-11 this year. You were 3-14 last year. Daniel Jones left you and has had the best season of his life with the Colts. It is an organizational problem. The draft classes have been putrid for Joe Schoen. Look at it. How could you let this general manager run the coaching search? How? There's no justification for it. Well, Joe Schoen, he's modernized the Giants front office. What does that mean? He bought them some MacBooks so they could actually do some work remotely on a laptop? Like, what does that mean? He modernized the front office. They stink. They don't win any games. Again, 3-22 in the last 25 games, 5-25 in the last 30. You're the second. For the second year in a row, you're the first team that's officially been eliminated from the playoffs. You're 0-8 on the road this season. What have they lost? 13 or 14 straight road games? Yeah, I mean, it's an embarrassment. And oh my God, it's amazing. It really is. It is amazing that Joe Schoen is still employed today, and apparently will speak in 30 minutes. So we will absolutely be relaying you whatever he says coming up in just a bit, assuming that press conference still happens, which is mind-boggling. That I guess as of now it still is. 800-919-3776. Jake Asman in for Michael K. with you till 3 here on ESPN New York. Let's get to some of your calls. A lot of Giants fans, rightfully so, are fired up. Let's say hello to Drew in Hoboken, who will start us off on the K Show. What's up, Drew?
Thank you so much for taking my call, Jake. And wow, thank you for everything you were saying in completely destroying this pathetic organization. I mean, there's no accountability or leadership, and that is, to your point, an organizational problem. Like, you realize Tom Coughlin won the division in 05, made the wild card in 06, and his job was on the line. He was 8-8 in 06, and then they won the Super Bowl. We go 2-11 back-to-back years, and you want to tell me, oh, no, it's just the coaching problem. Where's the talent? Where's the leadership? And you know what the worst part is? There's not going to be a single thing of substance from this press conference at 1:45. It's going to be the same thing. There's a lot of young talent. It's a coaching. We got the quarterback. He's going to give the same spiel. And that's why, in my heart, I believe Schoen is coming back, because Mara is sick. He won't even make road trips, and he does not want to gut this front office unless they just do something continue to do completely embarrassing things in December. And I'm disgusted. I'm just completely disgusted.
Drew?
And I hope everyone is.
Yeah, I think you speak for every Giants fan. Appreciate you listening. And look, again, John Mara's health is very serious, and I obviously am wishing for him to make a full recovery. But the John Mara, he's sick, so he doesn't want to lead a GM search on top of a coach search excuse, if that's a legitimate thing, it's not a good enough reason to not make a change. It's not. John Mara's been in football forever. He knows plenty of people he could refer to get qualified candidates to interview for the job. That's not a reason to not make a change. It's not. And also, what does the Tisch family think of this? All right, we know John Mara is in charge of all the football decisions. When do they step in and say, what the heck are we doing here, man? How many different first-time coaches, first-time GMs are we going to potentially hire before we say enough is enough, we can't continue this? It really is just like, it's baffling, man. It really is. I mean, here's the best of the Giants from last night. Hey, Abdul Carter, how come you were benched?
Your second time in 3 weeks. Start what happened?
Happens.
What happened?
I ain't gonna get into detail. Like I said, happens.
Why, Abdul? Like, for
asking me the same question, I just answered.
I mean, bleep happens. Yeah, why be accountable? Third pick in the draft, twice in 2 weeks. You're not out there to help your team. Hey, Jaxson Dart, do you feel like you're taking too many hits?
I understand the question. This is football. Like, I'm going to get hit if I'm in the pocket or outside the pocket. Like, it's like, I feel like I've played this way my whole entire life. This shouldn't be like any shocker to anybody if you've followed along with my career. I'm not playing soccer out here. Like, you're going to get hit. Things happen. It's part of the game.
No, it's not part of the game to take unnecessary hits that you can avoid. It's not. Certain hits, you're going to get hit. That's playing quarterback. But the hits that you could avoid, like what happened on the sideline last night, that is exactly what people are talking about. You got to dip and get out of bounds. I mean, there's no justification for that hit. It was a legal hit. Oh, but Jake, if that was Patrick Mahomes, they would have thrown a flag. Well, guess what? Jaxson Dart's not Patrick Mahomes. He needs to protect himself. You hope he can one day have a career like Patrick Mahomes, but he's not going to be able to do it if he can't play. Ridiculous. It's just the way I play. Look at my high school tape. Come on. And then Mike Kafka, he can't even explain why he benched Abdul Carter. Just say he missed the meeting. We have high standards here. Don't pull this charade with the media last night. I mean, watching this, I wanted to smash my head through my desk.
It's unfortunate, but that's the way we kind of work with it this week. We have great communication, and he's one of my favorite players on the team. That was one thing that we talked about, and it was my decision to not play him. That was my decision. Those are tough decisions to make, but that was my decision. And again, the kid, nothing with him. Everything that we did was my decision. Obviously, I'm sure he wasn't happy about it, which I understand, but I thought that was the best thing for the team, and it was my decision to move forward with it, and that's where we're at.
Hey, do you think it was Mike Kafka's decision to bench Abdul Carter?
That was my decision. Those are tough decisions to make.
Yeah. Okay. It just, what a joke, man. And again, Mike Kafka's the interim coach. He had a very little percentage chance of actually getting the job. The second he chose to punt with 1:13 to go in the second quarter on a 4th and 1 from the Giants' own 35-yard line, he waved the white flag and said, man, I don't want to do this. Please, someone else become the next head coach of the Giants because it's not going to be me. What a pathetic decision that was. The special teams last night, that was so bad. And I was dumb enough to think the Giants actually were going to play a competitive game last night. I liked them getting 7.5 points. They've been in all these games with Winston the last two, Dart. Other than really that second Eagles game, the Giants have basically been in all these games. And last night, it completely fell apart. You saw a team that was completely rudderless, and the general manager who put the team together, who came in with the head coach who's already been fired, that guy's now going to lead the coaching search? Really? No chance should that happen. 800-919-3776. Jake Asman in for Michael K. Let's get to more of your calls. Rob in Mass is up next on the K Show today. What's up, Rob?
Hey, Jake. Thanks for taking my call. Listen, I grew up in Port Chester, New York. I've been a Giant fan since 1972. I sit behind the poles at Yankee Stadium. I've been in broadcasting for many, many years. I do a show up here at Mass. I'm telling you, Jake, it's the most disgusting game I've ever seen in my life last night as a Giant fan for 54 years. Joe Schoen has got to go. And I'm telling you, this is not a GM problem. This is not a coaching problem. This is not a talent problem. This is an ownership problem. Now, listen, you will not meet any finer people in the world than Wellington Mayer and John Mayer and the Mayer family, okay? I grew up passing their house, going to the country club, okay, when I was growing up, passing Harrison and seeing their beautiful home, okay? But this is an ownership problem. Look at the last 4 coaches they've hired. You have to hire somebody with experience, okay? I do not want an assistant. You want to know the guy I want? Okay, Jake? The guy I want is Jon Gruden, okay? I want a guy who's won a championship, who can be like a guy like Bill Parcells, put the arm around a guy's shoulder when he needs a cuddle and kick a guy's ass when he needs to, okay? And we need to bring back some of the former Giants, whether it's Strahan, LT, any of these guys, Harry Carson, any of the guys. I was at least proud, okay, even though the Giants stunk in 1976 and 1975, at least I could go out there and see a decent defense. I mean, my father went to the championship game, 1957. That's how long the Giants have been in my family, okay? And they screamed defense. That got started to play on the poles at Yankee Stadium. This is embarrassing. You know what we used to do? Stick our tickets underneath the windshields because we wanted to get rid of them. And it's going to really suck if the Dallas Cowboys have somebody to play for, okay, in a couple weeks, and it's entirely Dallas Cowboys fans. Let John Mara look at that a little bit, okay, Jake? I'm fed up. We can't even get a kicker. How is Joe Schoen coming back? What's his press conference going? Who's he going to fire out? Kafka, who, by the way, looks like Mr. Spock. If I had to look at Kafka for the entire season, watching him, do a Vulcan net pitch. And by the way, wasn't that a great pusillanimous call the other day, last night, when he goes, "Oh, let's not go for half a yard, Jake. Oh, let's punt the ball away and give the ball back to the Patriots." Like we didn't know the Patriots weren't going to score in the last 45 seconds of the half.
Rob,
I mean, what a joke. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I appreciate the passion, Rob. Let me push back on the Gruden thing. I think there's better guys potentially available than Jon Gruden, who hasn't coached in the league since 2021 and does come with controversy. Now, he's done an amazing job rebranding himself completely, and I'm a big fan of the content he puts out with Barstool, but he is suing the NFL right now, and I don't know if John Mara is going to go down that path. What he said in the emails is one thing. It's also the fact he's suing the NFL, and I believe in second chances, so it's not even to me necessarily about what he said in those emails that never should have been leaked. I think there's a guy in Mike McCarthy who would make sense, who's also an offensive guy and has had way more success than Jon Gruden has of late. Again, Jon Gruden won a Super Bowl. That was in 2002. All right, we're in 2025. Long time ago. It's a different sport. The thing I would mention, though, that I would agree with that you said, getting some former Giants around, Antonio Pierce I was actually with them at the Knick game the other night. I ran into him and Chris Canty at the game. They were in our ESPN suite. Antonio Pierce is the defensive coordinator would make a ton of sense. Bringing in some former Giants, I have no problem with that at all. Because, again, it's easy to blame Abdul Carter, and he definitely should be criticized for being an immature baby and not knowing how to get to a meeting on time. But where's the leadership on this team? This would never happen if Strahan, OC, Tuck, JPP, if these guys were around, Abdul Carter would not be missing meetings. It wouldn't happen. The best teams are the teams whose players police themselves. Where's the leadership on the Giants? Like, if I'm the new regime coming in, I'm trading Dexter Lawrence. I am. How is this happening under his watch? I get 2 first-round picks for Dexter Lawrence. See ya. Goodbye. I think there's a fundamental leadership problem with this Giants team. And I think everyone, besides really the quarterback at this point, you'd consider trading. I mean, it's rotten. And the GM who put the team together is still employed, and at least according to ownership, is, quote, leading the search for the next HC. The justification for that does not exist. It's not real. There's no chance. It's an embarrassment. It really is. 800-919-3776. Jake Asman with you. In for Michael K. We got a lot to do. The Shane press conference is starting at 1:45. I'm going to absolutely unload on some of the asinine comments that former Yankee disgrace Sonny Gray said in his introductory presser with the Red Sox, of all teams. We'll get to that coming up. Plus, Devin Williams, who was one of the worst relievers I've ever seen for most of this past year's Yankee season, is now a Met. So we have that to cover as well. But we will stay with the Giants. A bunch of you are fired up. We'll get back to your calls. A lot to do. Jake Asman in for Michael with you till 3. It's 880 ESPN New York, the ESPN New York app, and you're watching on the ESPN New York YouTube channel.
ESPN New York is throwing a holiday party you don't want to miss. Join us Friday, December 12th at your mother's house in Garden City Park. We'll be broadcasting the Michael K. Show live from 1 to 3, followed by Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg from 3 to 7, all while supporting a great cause. Bring a toy to benefit the Garden of Dreams Foundation and help make the season brighter for local kids in need. It's the ESPN New York Holiday Party, Friday, December 12th, brought to you by Spike Day, Security Dodge, Amazon Pickup, and ESPN New York.
At 365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply.
This fall, don't sit on the sideline because of pain. If you're tired of waking up stiff, fighting neck, back, or joint pain, and missing out on the things you love, it's time to take action. Call Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain, New Jersey's top pain specialist. Dr. Shaw is an Ivy League trained, double board certified, and laser focused on one thing: getting you back in the game. Living pain-free, no surgery, no cuts, no downtime. Just precise image-guided treatments that deliver real results. Whether it's sciatica, nerve pain, migraine, or chronic joint pain, Dr. Shaw will personalize a non-surgical game plan just for you without pain medication. Same-day and next-day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. Most major insurances are accepted, so what are you waiting for? Don't let pain keep you out of the action this season. Visit Sandwell Pain to text, call, or book online. You'll wish you met Dr. Jay Shaw a lot sooner. Relief starts today, and victory over pain is closer than you think.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN right now to try it for free, and you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
This college football moment is brought to you by ServPro.
College football teams have moments they recovered from and made it like it never even happened. Like on September 24th, 2016, when Tulsa found themselves down 31-0 to Fresno State. With 10 minutes left in the second quarter, Tulsa fought back to tie the game at 41. And then won 48-41 in double overtime.
ServPro, like it never even happened.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible: overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right, pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank N.A. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
Jake Asman in for Michael K. It's time right now for Game Time, which is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, it's Tully time. 7 p.m., the Rangers hosting the Stars at Madison Square Garden. Coverage begins at 6:30 on 1050 ESPN. Also at 7, the Islanders hosting the Tampa Bay Lightning at UBS Arena. 8 p.m. this evening, the Knicks in Boston to play the Celtics. Coverage begins at 7:30 right here on 880 ESPN. Knicks 3-5 on the road. Let's see if they could get a big-time road win. They've been great at home. They beat the Celtics at home earlier in the season. Let's see if they can get a road win in Boston. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. I got a text of a video from Jaxson Dart, who's speaking again to reporters at his locker. The Giants are on their bye this upcoming week. So that's why Dart's speaking for the second day in a row, and that's why Joe Schoen is expected to speak in about 15 minutes, because he always speaks during the bye week. And Dart, one of his quotes is, quote, "I watch QBs who play kind of like me around the league. I watch how Josh Allen plays. I watch how Patrick Mahomes plays. They take hits too. I'm not an anomaly here." Again, Jackson, a big emphasis of Josh Allen's career early on was that he was taking too many hits. And if you watch Josh Allen now, he does a much better job of getting out of bounds, sliding, and taking better care of himself, because he did suffer some injuries in his career. So that's not a good comp. No one's saying you can't play aggressive and you can't go out there and you can't try and make plays with your legs. But there are moments when you don't need to fight for the extra 2 yards, like what you were trying to do last night, and you took a totally legal hit that could have ended your season if you landed on your arm funny, or if you hit your head again and suffered another concussion. Like, that was the magnitude of that hit by Ellis last night on the Patriots. It was unnecessary. You go out of bounds, and you live to see another day. And that play, basically, not that the Giants had any chance of winning last night, as we saw, but that play really started the onslaught, the avalanche, right? That play, instead of a potentially a first down, right? It was ruled he was short. And then the ensuing melee in which you pick up the unsportsmanlike penalty, that set the wheels in motion for the Giants' collapse to really get underway when that play happened. It's just dumb. And a good job by New England not committing a penalty in that brawl. So there'd be offsetting penalties. Right, at that point in the game, it was 10-0 with 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. It very quickly became 17-0 because what happened? The Giants punted the ball right back. And then Marcus Jones took it to the house. Game over. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. We will continue our show right now. It's time right now for the Big Blue Report, which is brought to you by Bet365. Jake Asman in for Michael K.
No, Michael K.
We are with you till 3. Let's get to your calls, and let's say hello to Charles in New Jersey, who's first up this segment. Hello, Charles.
Hey, Jake. How are you, buddy?
Hello, Chuck. What's going on?
Look, the Giants, if you thought the Jets were a horribly run organization, the Giants aren't really that much better. The Maras have done a terrible job owning the Giants in recent years. I know John Mara is going through cancer. I hope he recovers, but they've done a terrible job running things almost this past decade or so. I mean, starting with the decline of the Tom Coughlin era, I still think the Giants as an organization did Tom Coughlin dirty. I think, the way the Giants are being led as a football team is not very good. The fact that they don't really have good enough leadership like they used to when they had Tom Coughlin as their head coach and Eli as their quarterback, that's saying something. So I know last night was a debacle for the Giants. How Younghoe Koo missed that field goal, how he missed the ball is beyond me. So it is what it is, Jake. So from the Giants, if I really want to get back to legitimacy, I would hire a coach with experience, someone like either a Mike McCarthy or a Jon Gruden. I wouldn't go after Robert Saleh. Rumor has it that the Giants are eyeing Robert Saleh. I wouldn't go after him.
Hold on a second, Joe. I appreciate the call. Robert Saleh, stop it. Stop it. Robert Saleh, if he's ever a head coach again, needs to go somewhere where the New York media can't eat him alive again. No way, Robert Saleh. McCarthy, I'll give you. Gruden, I think there's a lot of baggage. He's suing the league. It's complicated. I'm not necessarily against Gruden, but I would need to have a better idea on how that would look. But again, you brought up something that I think has been a huge issue for the Giants, and it has been jet-like at times, too, for them. Right? John Mara, now, this is the third time that he has fired the head coach without the GM also being fired. Go back to 2015. Coughlin fired, Jerry Reese retained. Reese and then McAdoo fired in 2017. Fires Pat Shurmur after 2019, retains Dave Gettleman. Gettleman and Joe Judge fired after 2021. Dable fired earlier this year. As of now, the GM, Joe Schoen, is tasked with leading the search for the next head coach. Make it make sense. It doesn't. That's the problem. Mike in the Bronx, up next on the Michael K. Show with Jake Asman in for Michael. What's up, Mike?
Hey, how are you, Jake?
I'm good, Mike. What do you got for us?
I really enjoy your content. I watch on YouTube a lot, and but I am a Giants fan. If I've been calling for either McCarthy or maybe even the Steelers coach if that happens, because I was leaning towards that, but last night just shows you last night doesn't happen if you're practiced like an NFL team or if you have NFL standards. That game shows it has to be just rotting in there, and you bring in I know you're a big Jets fan. Look what happened with Todd Bowles. He's a decent coach, but he just doesn't mean he could clean up a big mess. He comes in to a Super Bowl winning team. He could do a good job. Not all situations are the same. You can bring in a decent young head coach, but he's not going to be able to clean up this mess. You're much better off doing similar what the Knicks did, is get someone to clean up the mess. And if you don't think he could win a championship, so then fire him like they did to Tom Thibodeau and say, okay, now we got a clean ship. Now it's much easier for you to get a young head coach to come in here, and you're much more advantaged. And just one more point, I hear on your show a lot of times Jets fans saying lose every game. It doesn't look like the Jets. If you want to lose every game, you're going to have to sit and look at the Giants. You can't have it both ways. Say, I wanted them to compete like the Jets, but lose like the Giants. If you lose every game, it looks like the Giants, not like the Jets. Thank you so much.
Mike, great point. And again, I think the Giants are an example of, lose and get the quarterback and it will all be figured out. Well, now you have the quarterback and you're still losing. If you don't have the infrastructure in place, it really doesn't matter who your quarterback is. They're not going to be able to overcome dysfunction. I thought Dart actually played pretty well last night. It was not on him. But again, in the past, Shane has blamed the lack of a quarterback. Now they have the quarterback, they're still not winning. Or they blame the offensive line. Oh, the O-line injuries. I mean, Andrew Thomas has been great since he's been back. The O-line's been stable. What's the excuse? They need to clean house, start over. You don't have a terrible foundation, and your job is not an unattractive one if it's a clean break. I question how attractive the job is if you allow Joe Schoen to be picking the coach and make the draft picks. His drafts have been terrible. Oh, he drafted Malik Neighbors. Anyone could have drafted Malik Neighbors. Anyone. Go look at his entire 2023 draft. They stink. All of them. The only player, the best of that draft class is the center who Giants fans can't stand. JMS. I don't even need to bring up Evan Neal. I mean, come on. Kayvon Thibodeau. He's been good. Has he been, top 5 worthy in the draft? I don't think so. I don't think he has. I mean, seriously. Oh, he drafted Tyrone Tracy in the 5th round. Great. What can you point to that Joe Schoen has done where you're like, yep, I definitively need him back as my general manager? You want to say he made the Brian Burns deal and it was a great move? Sure. Give him credit for that. What else? What else? Big moves. You can't even just say it's Dart because it's so clear that Dart was all Brian Dable saying, that's my guy, I need to have him, and Schoen allowing him to pick his quarterback. He orchestrated the trade. That's not enough for me to keep the general manager. It's not. And again, the Giants have done this. It's the 3rd time under John Mara where they fired the coach and not the general manager. And it has not worked out any of these times. And why would we expect it to be any different now? What have we seen? Like there was like a whole article in the New York Post about what Joe Schoen has done to revitalize the Giants' infrastructure. They're a modern front office now. It's like great. He installed better Wi-Fi. He bought them some computers. He taught them how to do a PowerPoint. Like it's a joke. I mean, they're 2-11. They are 2-11. They have the worst record in football over the last several years since Schoen has been here. Enough. Like, stop insulting our intelligence. That's what you're doing if you keep this general manager around. It doesn't make any sense. You pitched to the fan base that if you fix the quarterback, the wins will come. And you're the first team eliminated from the playoffs for the 2nd year in a row, and you have the quarterback. You're 2-11. Again, 2-11. You are 3-22 over your last 25 games. You are 5-25 in your last 30. Joke. Ed in Northport, up next on the K Show. Hello, Ed.
Hey, good afternoon, Jake. How you doing today?
What's up, Ed? I'm fantastic.
You sounded. I'm a 13th-time, long time, as always. I am a Jet fan, but I want to bring up 2 points about the Giants and get your opinion on them. I know you and a lot of other people have gone back and forth about sitting Dart, starting Dart. Maybe bench him for the rest of the year. Just close him down, shut him down. Pardon me. My thought is the kid's not sliding. He's not making the right plays. He's putting himself on the line, and he's already had a head injury. You remember years ago the Mets had to shut down Jose Reyes to teach him how to run? It may not be a bad idea to get this kid. You don't want this kid getting another head injury in a season, and then that could really screw up his whole career. And then the second point is that Abdul Carter, he is more and more like Vernon Golston by the minute. All the talent of the world. I get the one mistake, but supposedly that's been going on for a long time. Now it's happening again. I mean, what are the odds that he's an incredible bust, just like Golston? As always, great show. Let's go Islanders, and I'll talk to you soon, Jake. Thank you.
Ed, you got it. Look, I don't know if you could give up on Abdul Carter, but he's got to grow up fast because he has not had a good year, right? Until last night, he didn't have a full sack this season. He is incredibly immature. And where is the leadership on the Giants? Because I keep coming back to that. Hey, Abdul Carter, want to show some accountability and explain why you were benched?
Your 2nd time in 3 weeks being started. What happened?
Happens.
What happened?
I ain't gonna get into detail. Like I said, happens.
Why, Abdul?
Ask me the same question. I just answered.
Here's Abdul Carter being asked about teammates saying he needs to grow up.
I take it. The guys who say that is guys I look up to, guys I respect. So if they say something like that, I'm going to look at myself first, like, all right, what am I doing? How can I get better? And prove to them that I can earn their respect and, like I said, grow up and be what I'm supposed to be.
Like, come on, man. Grow up. Grow up. 800-919-3776. More on the Giants as we go. The Shane presser about to start, so we will certainly monitor what he says. We got some baseball still to get into. Devin Williams is a Met. Sonny Gray hated being on the Yankees. The feeling is mutual, Sonny Gray. We will get to all that and more. Jake Asman in for Michael K. We're coming right back. 800-919-3776, the number if you want in on the conversation. More to come. It's the Michael K. Show on 880 ESPN New York, the ESPN New York app, and the ESPN New York YouTube channel.
Tuesday with Don Hahn and Rosenberg. The show's live from the NHL store at Manhattan West Plaza. Mark Messier stops by to discuss his new Game 7 merch line. Don Hahn and Rosenberg today at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
FanDuel is the #1 sportsbook for same-game parlays. From points and rebounds to threes and assists, FanDuel is the best place to combine your favorite picks into a same-game parlay or track every stat live all in one easy-to-use app. And right now is the perfect time to join because new customers get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. So bet on the players you love the way you want. FanDuel is the best place to combine your favorite picks into a same-game parlay or track every stat live all in one easy-to-use app. Head to FanDuel.com/K to sign up today. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 plus and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
New York Presbyterian treats more heart patients than any other hospital in New York. From common to complex conditions, our cardiologists and heart surgeons are pioneers in advanced heart care, leading the way in minimally invasive treatments for faster recovery times. Find a doctor at nyp.org/heart. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian. New York Presbyterian Hospital based on U.S. News and World Report 2025 to 2026 Cardiology, Heart, and Vascular Surgery Rankings.
With Target, gifting has never been easier. This Saturday and Sunday, Target gift cards are 10% off with Target Circle. Treat everyone on your list to something you know they'll love. Gift cards for the trendsetters, the techies, the fashionistas, the foodies, and even yourself. The perfect time to save is now. This deal is a yearly fave, so hurry. Get more gifting for your buck and save 10% on Target gift cards with Target Circle for 2 days only. Only at Target. Restrictions apply.
On the job, every minute counts. That's why Lowe's now has ProBlock Quick Dry Primer, expertly manufactured by Sherwin-Williams. Engineered for pros to dry fast and go on smooth for virtually flawless results that keep your job moving. It's available in oil and water-based, and getting it is easy. Order online by 2 p.m. and get free same-day delivery right to your job site. Lowe's, we help, you save. Orders placed after 2 p.m. will be delivered next day. Valid in select zip codes. Subject to driver availability. More terms apply.
ESPN New York is throwing a holiday party you don't want to miss. Join us Friday, December 12th at your mother's house in Garden City Park. We'll be broadcasting the Michael K. Show live from 1 to 3, followed by Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg from 3 to 7, all while supporting a great cause. Bring a toy to benefit the Garden of Dreams Foundation and help make the season brighter for local kids in need. It's the ESPN New York Holiday Party, Friday, December 12th, brought to you by Spiked Aid, Security Dodge, Amazon Pickup, and ESPN New York.
The Michael K. Show right here on 880 ESPN New York and the ESPN New York app. Jake Asman in for Michael K. Hey, hockey fans and holiday shoppers, join Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg live from the NHL shop in Manhattan West Plaza, a block from the Garden, today from 3 to 7. That's right. A little rainy outside, but you'll be indoors enjoying the NHL shop. Watch the show today. Hang out with the guys. We'll be talking all things hockey and joined on site by the legendary Mark Messier. It's all powered by Game 7 apparel and headwear as they launch their new assortment in the NHL shop NYC. Don't miss Don, Hahn, Rosenberg live today from the NHL shop in Manhattan. 800-919-3776. Joe Schoen expected to speak in just a bit. So we will see in a moment what exactly he's going to say. I have the Giants YouTube channel up where they're streaming this thing, and every single comment from Giants fans is fire Joe Schoen. So things are going swimmingly, as you would expect, for this bye-week presser. What a time to have the bye week, right? After that debacle last night. Now, Jaxson Dart spoke again today. I read you some of his quotes in the last segment. Here's the audio of it. Here's Dart doubling down on the idea that he needs to change his playing style.
There's a time and place for things. I mean, I watch quarterbacks who play kind of like me around the league. I watch, how Josh Allen plays. I watch how Patrick Mahomes plays. They take hits too, so I'm not an anomaly here.
Again, where's the Giants' PR in all this? Where's Mike Kafka in this? Like, does anyone say to Jaxson Dart, here's how you answer the question? I should not have taken that hit. I want to remain aggressive, and I understand I need to always do a good job protecting myself when those opportunities exist for me to take care of myself. Whatever version of that. Just, Mahomes and Allen, I watch them play, and they take hits too. There was a whole issue in Buffalo for years about Josh Allen taking too many hits and needing to adjust his playing style. And you know what he did? And Josh Allen has actually talked about that. How he didn't need to fight for every yard. He needed to get out of bounds more. And that's all we're saying. Dart has every right to use his legs and make plays and be aggressive and play with that mentality. It's not a bad thing, but it's like you have to balance that and not trying to stick your shoulder down to gain an extra 2 yards. And this was the thing that Jon Gruden was warning him about in the Gruden QB camp in the offseason before he was even drafted. Gruden showed a bunch of plays where he took unnecessary hits at Ole Miss and said, what are you doing here? And Dart said, well, I have a rule. Every time I'm hit, I try to get +2. And Jon Gruden said to him, +2. And he said, gain an extra 2 yards. And John's like, that's the last time you're supposed to be doing that. Well, obviously that didn't get through then, and nothing anyone has said the Dart has gotten through. And it's just risky. Every quarterback obviously takes hits. That's the nature of the position. We're talking about the ones that you can avoid. Here's more from Dart on the big hit last night from Ellis.
Oh, it was a good hit. Good hit. I appreciate my guys having my back. That's just something that I know they do for me, and I do the same thing for them.
Well, here's the problem with that, right? Yes, good they have your back. It cost you a huge, huge first down potentially in the game. Right? Instead of offsetting penalties, the only team that was penalized were the Giants. And they're down 10-0 with 4 minutes to go in the first quarter, having to punt the ball back to New England, and then the rest is history. It's just such a bad look, and it's unnecessary. And again, the franchise just feels completely void of leadership. It really does. 800-919-3776, number to call to be on our show. Eitan in Valley Stream is up first this segment. Hello, Eitan.
How you doing, Jake? I just wanted you to explain something to me. Why the score, I think, was 30-7, and it was 4th and 6, and the Patriots went for it and got a first down. I've never seen that in my life. Maybe you explain that to me.
I think they knew that the Giants couldn't stop them.
But it was 30-7.
Right, and guess what? They were out to put the game away.
That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, look,
it seemed like they had something personal. I don't know. It's the whole game. The hit on the kick returner, the hit on Dart. It seemed like that game was personal. I don't know why. It just seemed that way, especially with the 4th and 6.
Yeah, look, I was a little surprised in real time watching it. A time that they were going for it, but again, I don't know if there's any sort of like history between Mike Vrabel and the Giants coaches or someone with the Giants organization, but I do know this. The Patriots looked like a team that was ready to roll last night, that was going to come out off their bye week with a fire to, step up with the lights shined on them. The Giants completely melted down. I mean, the coaching has never been more apparent when you watch the Patriots, because while they obviously are a good team, the 11-2 record to me is them still punching above their weight, even with a soft schedule. So, again, it just highlights, the need for the Giants to completely overhaul things, get the coach right, and I think the GM is included in that too.
All right. Thanks a lot, Jake.
You got it, Eitan. Because, again, I think the Giants, you want a best-case scenario for the Giants, they're the Patriots a year from now. Dart is May. Mike Vrabel is whoever the Giants hire if they get it right. Maybe that's best case scenario. Do I think the Giants will be 11-2 next year instead of 2-11 at this time? Probably not. But can the Giants be in the mix with Dart and Neighbors coming back and Scatterbo and some of the talent they do have? Yeah, if you get the coach figured out, which has been a huge problem for the Giants. And again, New England hired an experienced coach who's won before. And they turned it around immediately. That's what the Giants need to do. Enough of the first-timers learning on the job in the biggest media market in the world. If Tomlin's available, that's the guy. If McCarthy would take this job, that's the guy. Experience. You know, the Giants, the last time they hired a coach with previous head coaching experience, it was Pat Shurmur. That's an uninspired hire. Mike McCarthy would be an inspired hire. Tomlin would be an inspired hire. If Harbaugh and the Ravens ever had a divorce, that would be an inspired hire. That's who they need. The last successful head coach of the Giants was Tom Coughlin, right? Wasn't he a head coach in Jacksonville before? Didn't he go to the AFC Championship game with the Jaguars when they were basically an expansion franchise? I just think it's really hard to be a first-time coach in this town and be successful. Ben McAdoo made the playoffs his first year and then couldn't survive his second year. The last time the Jets had sustained success, you could point to Rex, and then before that, you got to go all the way back. Probably the Jets' success, you could say, and they're kind of their turnaround in the 2000s where they made the playoffs 6 times. It's when they hired Bill Parcells. They kind of rode that wave through the 2000s before it all started to fall apart. I mean, the Giants have been bad for a long time now. I think they need someone with experience. Someone who could lay the foundation. We had a caller earlier who said it perfectly. The Giants need their Tom Thibodeau. Maybe if you hired Mike McCarthy, he wouldn't be a guy that gets you to a Super Bowl, but can he get you out of the hell that you've been in? Can you hire a good coaching staff? Can he set you up to be competitive year over year where you're not for the second straight season eliminated before every other team in the league? They're 2-11, man. And the general manager should not be able to survive that. Dave in Westchester up next. Hello, Dave.
Hey, how you doing there? No, I'm just saying that, I don't think they're ever going to get Tomlin, because if they do get Tomlin, then Shane is definitely out. So if Shane's making the search, he's not going to go get a guy like Tomlin or McCarthy. That's not happening because he loses his job. He's going to get somebody else. That's for damn sure. All I'm trying to say is that the Giants are not that far away from being a really good team. And I'm not jumping up and down because they lost 4 games because they were up 10 points in the fourth quarter. Who cares if they're 6 and whatever or if they're 2 and whatever? They're better off being 2 and whatever, okay, because they're going nowhere this year no matter what. But a player here and a player there, but the main thing is the coach. And I'm saying that all these guys once were very young. Brad Stevens was a college guy. He was a nobody. Went to the finals twice. Went to the Celtics, won it. But great GM, okay? Joe Gibbs was once a young kid. Belichick was a young kid. Brad Stevens.
Belichick failed in Cleveland first, Dave.
I'm looking for this guy, Kurt Cignetti. The guy wins every...
Dave, thank you. Kirk Cignetti has already re-upped at Indiana. He said he's not going anywhere. So I'm not going to entertain Kirk Cignetti. Again, you could tell me that the Giants need to find the next Sean McVay, which is essentially your point. My point to you would be they tried that with Brian Dable. They gave Joe Judge his first opportunity. They gave Ben McAdoo his first opportunity. When do the Giants say enough is enough and they hire an experienced head coach who has done it before, who is not learning on the job in the biggest media market in the world? That's why I wanted the Jets a year ago to hire someone with previous head coaching experience. And look at Aaron Glenn's first year. He's been better of late, but he was so lost and in over his head at the beginning of the season. I think if you get the right coach, you could win. The Patriots are proof. If you get the right coach to pair with the quarterback, you can turn it around quick. I think Dart's the real deal. I do. He's got to obviously learn how to protect himself and grow up a little bit with some of these answers. But you need to get this coaching hire right. And are you better off getting it right with someone that you know has been a successful head coach in the league before? I think you are. 800-919-3776. Joe Schoen about to speak. He's running late, and every comment on the Giants YouTube channel is, he can't even be on time. What a loser. Sell the team. Fire Joe. Clean house. Giants fans are thrilled. A lot still to do. 1 hour in. Jake Asman in for Michael K. Taking you till 3. We'll talk some baseball in our second hour and more on the Giants as well. Keep it here on ESPN New York, the ESPN New York app, and, of course, watching on the ESPN New York YouTube channel.
Hey, this is Mika Zibanejad.
Hey, this is Adam Fox. Catch every Rangers game right here on 880 ESPN.
WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
Make cancer screening a part of your annual healthcare routine. New York Presbyterian offers a full range of cancer screenings, including lung, cervical, prostate, colorectal, breast, and more. Regular cancer screenings could save your life by detecting cancer at its earliest, most treatable stages. Screenings are available across New York City and Westchester. Learn more at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
Tuesday with Don Hahn and Rosenberg. The show's live from the NHL store at Manhattan West Plaza. Mark Messier stops by to discuss his new Game 7 merch line. Don Hahn and Rosenberg today at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
The holidays are here, and Amazon Pickup is your MVP of package pickup. Need that perfect gift like a brand new jersey for the big game? With Amazon Pickup, you can grab your order from secure Amazon lockers or counters near you on your schedule at no extra cost. It's fast, it's easy, and it keeps your holiday surprises tucked safely away. So whether you're running from work or heading to the holiday party, Amazon Pickup makes holiday shopping worry-free. Find your nearest Amazon Pickup location at amazon.com/pickupmvp. That's amazon.com/pickupmvp.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Hurry! It's your last chance to donate for 2025. Last chance! Donate now for a 2025 tax deduction.
Clinton Yates here, and the holidays are upon us, full of gatherings, toasts, and plenty of cheer. And if you're like me, you want every moment to shine. That's why I head to Total Wine & More, where you'll find it all at the lowest prices, from rich whiskeys and smooth tequilas to festive liqueurs and elegant champagnes. And if you're not sure what to grab, their guides will help you find bottles that impress. You'll always find what you love and love what you find, only at Total Wine & More. Spirits not sold in Virginia and North Carolina. Drink responsibly. B21.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto all on one platform. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. All investments involve risk, including loss of principal. Options, futures, and crypto trading carry significant risk and may not suit all investors. Securities offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Futures trading is offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Crypto offered through Robinhood Crypto LLC, NMLS ID 1702840, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Portfolio management offered by Robinhood Strategies, an SEC registered advisor.
You live for this. The wins, the losses, the slam dunks, and the buzzer beaters. The dream that this is your team's year. Hope, it's what keeps you coming back. So you represent with anticipation and with pride. Because when everything's on the line, your support means everything. That's why the NBA store is here to support you. Check out the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
No, Michael K. That's right. Jake Asman in for Michael. One more hour to go. Don Hahn and Rosenberg is coming up. Joe Schoen was supposed to speak to the media at 1:45. And you can see why Abdul Carter is late. Because the Giants general manager can't even be on time to his own press conference during the bye week. So you know what? I've talked about where the leadership is from players to Abdul Carter. Well, I guess it's a bit of a problem. The general manager is now 25 minutes late to his presser. Also, real funny bit. So the Giants have 3,000 people currently waiting to watch this presser on their YouTube channel. And every comment in like rapid fire speed is fire Joe, fire Shane, right? So I'm trolling the comment section by copy and pasting, extend Shane, extend Joe, over and over again. So I'm a little troll, and I'm enjoying it. But what a joke, man. I mean, Joe Schoen, how could you be late to this presser when the big story with your team is the 3rd overall pick you drafted not being on time? Oh, so silly. You know, someone in the comment section just responded to me. I'm telling Rothenberg you said that. Well done. 800-919-3776. We'll talk some baseball this hour coming up. Sonny Gray took a shot at the New York Yankees, and Devin Williams, that's right, the former Yankee reliever is now the reliever for the Mets. And let me say this about Devin Williams before we get back to your call. Your calls, plural. If the Mets' big reliever move is Devin Williams to be their new closer, this is a terrible, terrible move. If their plan is to still bring back Edwin Diaz and have Devin Williams set up, well then, while I think it's still an overpay because I don't believe in Devin Williams, I know he pitched better down the stretch for the Yankees, but I'm sorry I wouldn't be comfortable giving a reliever who struggled, I believe, with the bright lights of New York and all that. I would have some real doubt on giving him $50 million. But to me, the move is only a move I could understand from the Mets' perspective is if it means that you're going to be bringing in or bringing back Edwin Diaz to be the closer. Because if it's just, hey, we got Devin Williams now, we're set, Edwin Diaz is expendable now, I don't like this move at all from a Mets standpoint. And again, second offseason in a row, the Mets are signing away the previous Yankee closer. Clay Holmes, now Devin Williams. This feels like a move that David Stearns is all about because he was with Devin Williams in Milwaukee. And Devin Williams was very successful as a setup man to Josh Hader before he became the full-time closer there. So if he's going to be the 8th inning guy for the Mets, I understand the move. I don't love it. I still don't trust Devin Williams, but I'm also scarred as a Yankee fan from having him basically blow game after game this year and basically be the reason almost single-handedly that the New York Yankees didn't win the American League East. If Devin Williams blew, let's say, 4 less games, the Yankees would have won the division going away. Like, you could just look at his games, his blown saves, and directly attribute that to the Yankees blowing the division. They had the same amount of wins as the Blue Jays. They lost on tiebreakers because Toronto kicked their rear end head-to-head. But again, this to me is only a move I can understand from a Mets standpoint if it means that they're going to bring back Edwin Diaz. But again, is re-signing Edwin Diaz to a contract that's going to probably pay him $20 million a year, $100 million overall, is that smart? Now, the Mets have more money than God, so if that's the move they want to make, fine. But this can't be, a move to kind of pinch pennies in a sense. Like, oh, we're going to bring in Devin Williams. We think we're getting him at a better rate than Edwin Diaz because Diaz is coming off a great season. Williams is not, but we know he's been great. Let's sign him, save money, and then we could take that money and spend it elsewhere. But that would be like a small market approach for a Mets team who has the richest owner in sports, who's only going to get even more rich in 5 years when this casino next to Citi Field finally opens. So money should not ever be a problem, as we know, for the Mets. Let me say this about Devin Williams from a Yankee standpoint. Good riddance, dude. Seriously. I mean, good riddance. Seriously. Can the Yankees now eradicate the facial hair policy going away and bring it back? Does this mean the Yankees could go back to the old facial hair policy and start looking like the Yankees again? Because this guy's basically the reason why the facial hair policy changed, and then he went out there and sucked for most of the year. I mean, Devin Williams' legacy is going to be known for being the guy that got the Yankees to change the facial hair policy, then leave and go to the Mets in the next offseason. And again, he did pitch a lot better in the playoffs. I can't knock him for that. But you knew the Yankees weren't going to bring him back. And $50 million for a guy who I don't know if he actually can handle pitching in New York, that'd be a bit of a concern for me. But if he's the setup guy, fine. He cannot be the closer. The Mets still need to make sure Edwin Diaz is brought back. 800-919-3776. The Giants presser has not started yet, which means Jordan Renan, who was supposed to join us, will not actually be joining us because we're not going to have any time. Because our show is going to be over by the time seemingly the Schoen press conference actually starts at this rate. Again, now you know why Abdul Carter has been late. The GM can't even be on time to his own press conference. 800-919-3776. Back to your calls we go. Jake Asman in for Michael K. If you want to tweet the show, you can tweet me on X at Jake Asman. We'll read some of your responses on the air. Let's say hello to Richard in Jacksonville, who's first up this hour. Richard, you're on with Jake. What's going on?
What up, Jake? How you doing?
I'm doing well, Richard. What do you got for us?
The Joe Schoen thing. Do you remember when there was the Hard Knocks, the off-season version, and it was like a glimpse into the Giants and that whole scary thing with Saquon? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I watched every episode. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, like, watching him was so obvious that homeboy is playing checkers. Like, he did not have an original thought in that entire show. And the way he was treating Barkley, like they could replace him with Devin Singletary, that was terrifying to me. And I really think that the way they ushered Daniel Jones, who didn't deserve it either, just like Barkley, out the door, that both operated behind the most criminal offensive line in the history of history. And I think the players on that team watched the way those two guys were treated, and I don't think they're playing that hard for Joe Schoen. I just don't think there's any spirit there at all. I was at the game against the Packers. That was incredibly depressing. I mean, it's bad right now. It is as bad as I have ever seen it. And I think unless you get rid of Joe Schoen, none of these things matter.
All fair, Richard. Great call. Because, again, at the end of the day, we could say, well, the Giants have these leads. They just can't actually finish. Oh, blame the coaching. But a year ago, it was blame the quarterback. Like, at what point do we blame the GM who puts the team together? Seriously. Like, when you're this bad for this prolonged stretch, it's everything. You don't go 3-14 last year by accident, and they're 2-11 this year with a quarterback, with a healthy Andrew Thomas since he's been back. I mean, come on. You have an interim coach, an interim OC, an interim DC. When does the GM be held responsible when he's the one who brought in the head coach? They're 3-22 in their last 25. They're 5-25 in their last 30. They're 20-43-1. You cannot allow this general manager to run the coaching search. You're not going to be able to get the best candidates. If I was a top candidate, I don't care how much I like Jaxson Dart. I wouldn't want Joe Schoen picking my players. Look at his drafts. Again, the 2022 draft class. Evan Neal, how we doing? Not to mention some of the other busts in that class, but the 2023 class is atrocious. It's not good enough. And if the Giants accept it, they're part of the problem here. They no longer have this high standard that they're supposed to have, the Giant way. There's no such thing if this general manager is retained. There isn't. The 2023 draft class, Deonte Banks, John Michael Schmitz, Jalen Hyatt, Eric Gray, Trey Hawkins, Jordan Riley. What are we doing? JMS is the best player from that class. He's not any good. Giants fans can't stand him. And look, the Giants obviously, at least in my lifetime watching them, I've seen them win the 2 Super Bowls, right? But I got a tweet from a Giants fan who's 19 years old. He's like, the Giants haven't been relevant in my life since I was 4. There's like an entire generation of Giants fans growing up now that actually doesn't remember the championships with Eli Manning. Think about it. You start getting into sports when you're what? 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. You start really to get into it and be invested and pick your team and watch all the games. You don't remember the second Super Bowl. You don't remember the 2007 Super Bowl. Matthew Schaefer was the first pick in the NHL draft by the Islanders. He was born in 2007. He doesn't remember the Giants and Coughlin and Eli Manning and Antonio Pierce and Strahan and Plaxico Burress going into, Arizona and Glendale and beating the undefeated Pats. They don't remember that. There is an entire generation of Giants fans now that doesn't remember those Super Bowl teams. That's how bad it's been for a while. It's similar to the Jets. Now, the Jets don't have the Super Bowls, but the Jets have the longest playoff drought in sports. I mean, New York football in this town has just been an unmitigated disaster. The Giants at least gave you a blip in 2016 and in 2021, or 2022, excuse me, when they were a playoff team. But it's been a joke forever now. It really has been. More calls. Steve in Pearl River is up next on the Michael K. Show. with Jake Asman in for Michael. What's up, Steve?
So, Jake, I want to address something that you brought up. I have a friend who is a massive Met fan who for years has either had full or partial seasons. And his theory is that Steve Cohen, his side hustle is the Mets, and he bought the Mets so he could get that casino in. That's his theory, all right? And when he said it, when he said it to me, because he's such a, orange and blue, and when I look at him, I see those colors. That's how big a Met. Anyway, so that's one thing. And this, you know what, John Mara, I wish him all the best. But let's go back to the press conference where he either fired McAdoo or he addressed the Geno Smith for Eli for one game. And there's audio, and I'll never forget John Mara said that he was surprised by the ferocity of the backlash of the fans over that decision. And I said right there, this guy is detached. This guy has no idea what's going on. And if you walk into that stadium, all right, it is built. It is not built for the rank and file fans, the owners of the Giants and the Jets. That is a luxury. They built that stadium from the luxury boxes out.
Yeah, Steve, let me tell you, as someone who goes to MetLife a couple times a year, it is one of the worst stadium experiences you could have as a fan. Seriously. I think it's the thing that Jets and Giants fans can agree on the most. The stadium stinks. The fact that two NFL teams share it, and it's supposed to be this modern NFL stadium built in 2010, and it's that awful, it's a joke. As far as your first point on Mara, he's done a bad job, man. He's the owner of the team. And I understand that he's obviously dealing with a very serious health situation. We're wishing him all the best. But, some have said, Shane is only here because Mara is not in position, given his health, to lead a general manager search. And I'm sorry, that's not good enough. That's lazy. What does Steve Tisch do? He owns the team with John Mara. You mean to tell me that there's no one within the Giants organization that could vet candidates besides only John Mara? Come on. John Mara's done a bad job. There's no other way around it. And again, it's why I think if you want to give yourself the best chance to stabilize your organization and get back to respectability, Mike McCarthy would make a ton of sense. Mike Tomlin. Harbaugh. If any of these guys are available, we know McCarthy is. A coach with previous head coaching experience. The Giants should be what the Patriots are a year from now. Maybe not the one seed in the conference, but with a quarterback and some existing talent and the right coach, you could turn it around quick in the NFL. It doesn't take years. Someone said it earlier. I think it's a great comp. The Giants need their version of what the Knicks did with Tom Thibodeau. A coach that could stabilize things. Maybe not the coach that gets you to the finish line. You can't worry about getting to the top of the mountain when you're in the Earth's core right now. It feels like I'm talking about the Jets and their search this past offseason, but the Giants are in the same spot. And the Giants have become the Jets in that they fire the coach but retain the GM, which is something the Jets have done. And it didn't work. And John Mara has now done this 3 times since Tom Coughlin was fired. 800-919-3776. Jake Asman in for Michael K. More to talk about here. Let's get to more of your calls. We took a call from a Richard already on the show today. And now, double the Richard. Richard in Manhattan is next. Hello, Richard.
Jake, here's my problem. Why didn't the Giants learn from the Jets' mistake? Firing Saleh in the middle of the season, you're creating chaos. At least with they were watchable. I mean, I felt bad. I felt sorry they kept losing those games. But why did you punish yourself and him? At least ride this guy till the end of the season. It served, unless he did something so egregious. The team was worth watching. Now it's chaos. It's chaotic. They didn't need all of this chaos. I'd rather lose games in the last minute of the game and keep questioning. I mean, they were in every game. They were entertaining. And what I saw yesterday, forget about it. I just watched a little, and I won't watch anymore. It's chaos now. They've quit wide open, but they saw what happened to Salah. Now, I don't want to comment on somebody's illness, but if John Mara is well enough to make a decision like that he wants to coach fire, I mean, he should be able to make other decisions too, because the Giants never do that. It was unprecedented. And didn't they just see what happened to their neighbors, their roommates? What happened? I mean, it was a joke after Salah went. Okay, Salah might not have been the best idea, but at that moment he was the best idea. Daboll might not have been the best coach at that moment, the best idea, but at least he was the best coach. The players respected him. Certainly Dart listened to him. I mean, he might have gotten through Dart. Dart ain't going to listen to Kafka. I mean, any chance of any of it, I just don't know. Listen, they would have still been bad even with Daboll. I'm not suggesting that. But you like to see order, Jake. You like to see reasoning.
Well, Richard, here's what happened, though. This was a job preservation type of move by the general manager. He got through to ownership clearly. Hey, we're better than the record. Look at the leads we have in these games. Let me fire Daboll, and I'll show you with a different coach, we're now going to win games. And guess what? They haven't. It's been the same thing. The way they lost that Lions game was a disgrace. The decision-making in that game. Kafka choosing to go for it and not kick the field goal. Last night, he waved the white flag by punting on 4th and 1 from his own 35 down 27-7 before halftime. Dumb for the Giants to give Joe Schoen the opportunity to save his job. I don't need to hear from Joe Schoen today at this presser, which, by the way, the Giants have then moved to 2:15, and they're late for that. It just started. Schoen is speaking right now. So the Giants were supposed to start the presser for Schoen at 1:45. It didn't start till 2:20 after they announced it would start at 2:15. They were late for the late announcement. And we wonder where Abdul Carter gets these ideas from. We'll monitor whatever he says. But again, last year the Jet season was, they were 2-3 when they fired Salah. With Daboll, it was over. So the move to fire Daboll in season was Dart got hurt. You suffered this catastrophic blown lead loss again on the road to the Bears. And I think Shane's plea to ownership was, let's see what it looks like with a different coach because my players are good. Look, we have the lead. We just can't hold the lead. It's like the episode of Seinfeld. You could take the reservation. You just can't hold the reservation. So Shane's plea to Mara was, we can get the lead, but because our coaching stinks, we can't actually maintain the lead. I thought Ian O'Connor, great writer, now with The Athletic, had a great tweet that sums up the Giants last night. He tweeted, a kicker who doesn't kick the ball, a top 3 pick who doesn't show up for work on time, a gifted young quarterback who refuses to protect himself, a 2-11 team that can't execute for more than 2.5 quarters. I don't know what Joe Schoen is running with the Giants, but it's not a program. Does that not sum up the state of the New York Giants? 800-919-3776 at Jake Asman on X if you want to weigh in. More of your calls right now. Let's say hi to Eric in Brooklyn, who's next on the K Show. What's up, Eric?
Hey, Jay. How you doing?
What's going on, Eric?
Hey, so I agree with your point about proven coach. Let's not go out and take any chance. And by the way, I'm not a Giants fan. I'm just a football fan. And I was just thinking about, as you were going through that, I'm like, you know what? There's a proven coach out there who wants to coach again, who knows the New York media market, and it doesn't take any BS. His name's Rex Ryan.
Look, I love Rex, Eric. I'm a Jet fan. But, again, Rex has not coached in the league in a very long time. I don't know if that is necessarily the move that the Giants would make here, to give Rex another chance 10 years since he last coached.
Yeah, but but if we're talking about McCarthy and we're talking about some of these other names, it just seems like I don't know. It could be an interim, but I mean, I think he could come in and right the ship.
Well, but those guys have coached recently, right? If Mike Tomlin got fired, he'd have a job in 2 minutes, to quote Rex on Get Up yesterday, who ironically said that, right? I mean, like, sometimes it just goes stale with an organization. We saw Andy Reid get fired by the Eagles. He moved on. He goes to the Chiefs right away, and look what happens. Like, to me, Mike McCarthy would make more sense than Rex because, one, he's an offensive guy, and two, if you can win with Jerry Jones, breathing down your neck, you could handle everything that comes with coaching in New York. You have instant credibility there. To me, McCarthy would make more sense than Rex would at this stage.
No, fair point. Yeah, and I don't know why McCarthy's getting discounted because, as you said, he's been recent, he's been good. His regular season has been phenomenal, and he can coach a QB.
Bingo. He's developed a young quarterback before. Dak Prescott played at his best under McCarthy. I'm not trying to tell you that Mike McCarthy's a great coach, but have you seen who the Giants have hired? I mean, seriously. Mike McCarthy with the Cowboys in 5 years was 49-35. And again, when Dak was healthy, which was 3 of his 5 years, they were 12-5, 12-5, 12-5. I think the guy's a good coach. Compare his resume to Sean Payton, who's doing a great job this year with the Broncos. I used to joke in Houston when the Texans had a head coaching search on my radio show down there that Sean Payton is skinny Mike McCarthy. Compare the resumes. They each have won a Super Bowl with a Hall of Fame quarterback. They each have had varying degrees of regular season success. They each have not been back to that Super Bowl since they won their initial Super Bowl with said Hall of Fame quarterback. They have right around the same amount of wins and winning seasons. Compare Mike McCarthy's resume to Sean Payton, and you'll see that Mike McCarthy is just fat Sean Payton, or that Sean Payton is skinny Mike McCarthy. But that's what the Giants need. Mike Vrabel was a good coach who was available, and New England fired Gerard Mayo and hired the right coach. A guy with experience with their quarterback already in-house. The Giants can be the Patriots if they get the coaching hire right. It's why I'm not taking any chances on a first-time head coach, a coordinator who's never been a head coach before. It's a different job. You could be the best coordinator in the world. It is a different job. It does not always translate. The Giants need someone, I believe, that has done the job at a high level before. And to me, McCarthy would make the most sense. Is he perfect? No. No candidate's perfect. People like the unknown because you just don't know. But I can tell you what, it's way more risky than someone that is known. 800-919-3776. Joe Schoen speaking right now. We'll cover what he says on the other side. Plus, wait till you hear what Sonny Gray said about the Yankees. We'll talk about that and much more. Jake Asman in for Michael K. It's 880 ESPN New York, the ESPN New York app, and the ESPN New York YouTube channel.
Listen up. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Tuesday with Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. The show's live from the NHL store at Manhattan West Plaza. Mark Messier stops by to discuss his new Game 7 merch line. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg today at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
To help those who want to be helped, but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
Dave Rothenberg here to tell you about my friends at Bathfitter. They converted my kid's bath to a shower and did an incredible job. They offer custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution for a watertight fit, and it's done in just one day. It's durable and easy to clean with no demo or mess and a lower cost than a standard replacement. Take advantage of the biggest sale of the entire year. Save up to $800 on a complete Bathfitter system. See their website or call for details and start designing your bath today at bathfitter.com.
Ox Spine and New York Presbyterian is always in pursuit of a better way to heal the spine.
We're getting more people moving again with minimally invasive, non-surgical, and surgical treatments with innovative solutions for every back and spine condition and your unique needs. Expert spine care is available now across New York City and Westchester. Find a doctor at nyp.org/oxspine. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
With Target, gifting has never been easier. This Saturday and Sunday, Target gift cards are 10% off with Target Circle. Treat everyone on your list to something you know they'll love. Gift cards for the trendsetters, the techies, the fashionistas, the foodies, and even yourself. The perfect time to save is now. This deal is a yearly fave, so hurry. Get more gifting for your buck and save 10% on Target gift cards with Target Circle for 2 days only. Only at Target. Restrictions apply.
Out here, it's football season, where nothing beats backyard grilling, gathering around the fire pit, and cheering on your favorite team with friends. The yard is mowed, the lights are strung, and the grill is warming up. Whether you need to fill up your propane, get a new grill, or even a generator, out here, it's game day. And we're ready for it. Tractor Supply, for life out here.
The Michael K. Show right here on 880 ESPN New York and the ESPN New York app. Jake Asman in for Michael, who will be back with you tomorrow. The ESPN New York holiday party is back. This show, the Michael K. Show, and Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg are bringing the holiday cheer at your mother's house in Garden City Park, Long Island on Friday, December 12th. We're once again collecting unwrapped toy donations this year to benefit the Garden of Dreams Foundation, and it all kicks off at 1 p.m. on Friday, December 12th. At your mother's house, brought to you by Amazon Pickup, Security Dodge, and Spiked Aid. 800-919-3776. More of your calls in a bit, but we do have some sound from Joe Schoen, who's in the process of speaking to reporters right now. It is the Giants' bye week, and he's speaking to reporters following the Giants' embarrassing display in front of the entire nation on Monday Night Football last night. This was the opening statement from the Giants' general manager.
Let me start off with, 2 wins is not where we want to be right now. It's not good enough. I understand the frustration from fans, ownership, the people inside the building, and nobody's more frustrated than myself, and it starts with me, and I'm tasked with trying to get this organization going back in, the proper direction, and the standard is to compete for championships year in and year out, and that's the plan moving forward. So, we're going to look at everything, whether it's free agency, drafts, coaching, finishing, execution on the field, whatever it may be. We're going to look at all avenues in order to get this franchise back to where it belongs.
You know what's interesting? You could hear probably any of these cuts and say, what year is this from? Today? Last year? The previous year? Here's more from Shane. He's asked, why are you the man for the job?
I understand the question. Again, my focus right now is on supporting Kafka as we go forward, and we'll evaluate all aspects of the football operation as we go forward. And has it been perfect? No, but I'm very confident in my staff, myself, and our ability to get this franchise back where it needs to go.
Why are you confident that you're close?
Yeah, I understand the question, and I know where you're coming from. It starts with me. I take responsibility for that. But we do have a good young quarterback, that's on a rookie contract for the next 4 years. And that's when it gets fun. When you're building around a young quarterback, you have a good nucleus, you have a good left tackle, you have a wide receiver that had historic years, a rookie season. You got a good running back room, you got pass rushers. There's pieces in place, Dan, and I understand the question. And I do have confidence in our ability and our process to find the next coach to lead the organization. And again, I truly believe in that process, and I know we're going to get it right.
It's good to know that no matter what question the Giants reporters might ask Joe Schoen, he will let you know that he understands your question. What are the owners saying, Joe?
Again, you guys have seen the results. 2 wins, not good enough. I'll keep our conversations between us, but we all know 2 wins isn't good enough. Where we are right now isn't good enough, and it needs to change.
Well, we don't know that because you're leading the head coaching search. So why did Dable get blamed for the failure? Why did he get fired and you're still here?
Yeah, I understand the question there too, Pat. And again, I'm equally as, my hand's in it just like Brian's is. And ownership made a decision to move on. And again, I'm going to do what I can control, and that's support Kafka moving forward. And again, I wish Dave's nothing but the best. And we're going to do everything we can to get this franchise back to where it should be.
First off, Joe, my name is Jake, not Pat. And second, for him to refer to Dable there as Dave's, like they're buddy-buddy, when he stuck a knife through Dable's back, essentially to get him fired for his own job preservation. Give me a break. Hey, Joe, will you see the coach search through next year?
Yeah, again, our focus is going to be on supporting Kafka and his staff. Ownership will evaluate the entire football operation at the end of the season, as they should. And then we'll go from there.
Here's Joe Schoen being asked more about this coaching search he's tasked to lead.
As for the coaching search, we're going to do everything we can right now to support Kafka. That's our primary focus right now, is give Kafka everything he needs in order to succeed over these next 4 weeks, support him and his staff. At the appropriate time, we'll get into, potential coaches, research, and we'll do a thorough collaborative research and come up with the best coach to lead the New York Giants going into, 2026 season.
Is the 33rd team going to be hired? Mike Tannenbaum back at it? One more from Shane. Here's Joe Schoen on moving on from Dave's and Shane Bowen.
As for the coaching changes we made earlier in the year, this is the first time I've spoke with you guys since we moved on from Coach Dayball and Shane Bowen. Dabes and I have an extended history together, professionally and personally. Difficult decision, but one we decided to make. And he's a great football coach, and he's going to be successful in whatever he does, after the New York Giants. I'll say the same with Shane. Appreciate everything Shane did for us. Tireless worker, good coach, good man, and wish him nothing but the best moving forward as well.
So there you go. I mean, Joe Schoen understands your questions, but he can't give you anything other than, we have Jaxson Dart on a rookie deal. We have a good left tackle. We have Malik Neighbors as to why you should trust him. Great. The left tackle he didn't draft, by the way. The quarterback, that was all because the coach desperately wanted him. And yes, you want to give him credit for Malik Neighbors? Awesome. All right. I could run a mock draft simulator and could have came up with, hey, let's take Malik Neighbors at 6 if he's there for the Giants. Come on. I'm sorry. Joe Schoen might be a good dude. I don't know him personally. I don't wish him ill will. But we got to call it how we see it. He should not be employed as the general manager of the Giants. He shouldn't. It does not make any sense. He is paid millions of dollars. He's a big boy. He can handle the truth that he has not done a good job. He has not. And this is not even bringing up the fact that I could be hammering him more for this, for everything that went down with the Saquon Barkley fiasco. I have barely even mentioned that. I am focused on his draft class, the fact that he hired the head coach, the fact that he pinned the Jets, it sounds like we're talking about the Jets, the Giants' failures on the lack of a quarterback. He now has the quarterback, and they're still losing. He blamed the head coach. He's fired the head coach. They're still losing. It's enough. It's enough. Again, look at his draft picks. 22, 23, not good enough. Not good enough. Abdul Carter can't miss. Can't even show up to a meeting on time. And it makes sense because Joe Schoen couldn't even show up to this press conference on time. So let's start at 1:45. Then they push it back to 2:15 after they were already late. They didn't push it back to 2:15 until it was like 2:11. And then they started at 2:22 or 2:21. Just a joke. How John Mara could actually entertain the idea of this guy vetting candidates should boggle the mind of every Giant fan. Anyone ask Joe Schoen about their kicking situation? We have a cut on that one. Hey, what did you think of your kicker last night pulling the old Charlie Brown in a nationally televised game? I mean, goodness, man. Anyone ask Joe Schoen if he's going to fire the special teams coordinator next? We've already done the head coach. We've already done the DC. What about special teams? Anyone ask a question about Evan Neal? I mean, again, the biggest question that should be asked to Joe Schoen is, why do you deserve to remain the GM of the Giants while Brian Daboll is unemployed? And he gave you nothing there to answer that question. That should make any Giant fan feel good about the direction of this franchise. Nothing. 800-919-3776. John in Great Neck is up next on the program today. Hello, John. You're on the Michael K. Show.
How you doing? Great show. Where's Ernie Accorsi? Where's Jerry Reese? Where is George Young? Oh, my God. The reason that the Giants got out of the doldrums was because the league rescued them with the life preserver of George Young. and everything that they're doing is that there is no, between the Jets and the Giants, I can't see either team being above a 500 team for years. There's just no, they're rudderless ships. They only look for coaches that have never coached before. They're always trying to find lightning in a bottle. You know, it doesn't make any sense.
John, I agree with you. And again, I don't think the Giant situation is as dire as it feels for every Giant fan. I don't. I think it becomes dire if you let this general manager actually get to pick the coach and continue to have the ultimate say on personnel and free agency in the draft. Because again, Joe Schoen's draft classes have stunk. The trades, the free agent signings, not good enough. And even some of the quote-unquote hits, Abdul Carter, can you show up to a meeting on time? Did you vet the character concerns of Carter? Because I had heard from people, he missed a lot of things at Penn State as well. They just looked past it because he was a great player in college. For those who missed the press conference, if you want a reenactment of what Joe Schoen said, I'll give you a little play-by-play. Why do you deserve to remain the GM, Joe, and Dable's fired?
Yeah, I understand the question there.
You've been credited with modernizing the Giants front office. If the results have not improved, how much real benefit do those changes bring, Joe?
Yeah, I understand the question there.
Hey, last year you said you were comfortable losing players like Saquon Barkley and Xavier McKinney because you believed you drafted strong replacements. Well, what's the deal now, Joe?
Yeah, I understand the question there.
Hey, what type of background and character research was done on Abdul Carter? And are his discipline issues surprising based on your pre-draft work?
Yeah, I understand the question there.
Hey, reports indicated disagreements between the front office and coaches regarding the QB selection. With Brian Dable and the coaching staff really pushing hard for Dart, do you believe it's fair that the coaching staff should get more credit for Dart than you should?
Yeah, I understand the question there.
Hey, why did you choose to retain Shane Bowen in the first place, Joe?
Yeah, I understand the question there.
For those who missed it, that was essentially all you got. Because then after he said he understood your question, he gave you no real answer to your question. Much like that episode of Seinfeld. You could take the reservation. You can't hold the reservation. You could ask Joe Schoen a question, but he can't actually answer your question.
Yeah, I understand the question there.
You see, he understands it, but he can't give you the answer to said question. But hey, let's keep the GM who's 5-30 over his last 35 games. Why not? Things are clearly going in the right direction. 800-919-3776. You want an actual answer from Shane here? Here you go. What was your input on Dable being fired?
Again, that was a decision that ownership made, and I support him with the decision. And again, now we're supporting Kafka moving forward.
That's right. I stuck the knife right through his neck. Got rid of him, said, let's blame him so I could keep my job, and let's go from there. I mean, come on. Giants fans, sound off. 800-919-3776. We're coming back with your calls. Lot still to do as we take you till 3. Jake Asman with you, in for Michael K, right here on 880 ESPN New York, the ESPN New York app, and, of course, the ESPN New York YouTube channel.
Whether you're shopping, gaming, or streaming this Black Friday season, don't take slow for an answer. Get Optimum Fiber for the fastest, most reliable, and most consistent internet speeds. Starting at $25 a month, call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com to switch. Act now and get a full year of Netflix, an unlimited mobile line, a $400 prepaid card, and more, all on us. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com today. Optimum, don't take slow for an answer. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
Tuesday with Don Hahn and Rosenberg. The show's live from the NHL store at Manhattan West Plaza. Mark Messier stops by to discuss his new Game 7 merch line. Don Hahn and Rosenberg today at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
New York Presbyterian treats more heart patients than any other hospital in New York. From common to complex conditions, our cardiologists and heart surgeons are pioneers in advanced heart care, leading the way in minimally invasive treatments for faster recovery times. Find a doctor at nyp.org/heart. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian. New York Presbyterian Hospital based on U.S. News and World Report 2025 to 2026 cardiology, heart, and vascular surgery rankings.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. That's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
ZipRecruiter. Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football. It's a pepper thing.
Rich Eisen here, and we're brought to you by Sonos. The holidays sound better with Sonos speakers. Whether it's a movie night that feels larger than life or the roar of the crowd as your team takes the field, Sonos helps create the moments you'll remember. Beautiful design, incredible sound, and effortless control mean you can focus on what matters most, enjoying the season. I love Sonos, and so will you. Discover how easy it is to bring every room to life with incredible sound. Explore Sonos speakers, soundbars, and more at Sonos.com.
ESPN New York is throwing a holiday party you don't want to miss. Join us Friday, December 12th at your mother's house in Garden City Park. We'll be broadcasting the Michael K. Show live from 1 to 3, followed by Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg from 3 to 7, all while supporting a great cause. Bring a toy to benefit the Garden of Dreams Foundation and help make the season brighter for local kids in need. It's the ESPN New York Holiday Party, Friday, December 12th, brought to you by Spiked Aid, Security Dodge, Amazon Pickup, and ESPN New York.
Jake Asman in for Michael K. One final segment here.
No Michael K.
Which means one last game time, which is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. Because when it's game time, it's Tully time. 7 p.m. Rangers hosting the Stars at MSG. Coverage at 6:30. It starts right here on 1050 ESPN. Also at 7, the Islanders host the Tampa Bay Lightning at UBS Arena. 8 p.m. Knicks in Boston, nationally televised game on NBC. And you can listen to the action here on 880. Our coverage starts at 7:30. I think I speak for all Knicks fans out there by saying F Boston and let's go Knicks. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. Joe Schoen spoke earlier, and if you missed it, here was the answer to basically every question he was asked.
Yeah, I understand the question there.
And then he gave you nothing else. Gobbledygook, as we hear on the station. I mean, you got nothing. It was like a political press conference. I see people in the YouTube chat referring to Joe Schoen as Sleepy Joe. I mean, he gave you nothing, honestly. He looked miserable being up there. And again, when he's asked why were you not fired, but Dable was, he gave you this.
Again, that was a decision that ownership made, and I support him with the decision. And again, now we're supporting Kafka moving forward.
Man, you guys are really showing your support for Kafka by going out there and allowing 30 points and a half for the first time since 2009. Bad, real bad. Let me get to the Sonny Gray comments that I've been mentioning throughout the show. So Sonny Gray was introduced in Boston today. He had his Zoom press conference with the local media there. And the newest Red Sox pitcher is excited to hate the Yankees now who he says he's always hated.
It feels good to me to go to a place now where, you know what, it's easy to hate the Yankees, right? It's easy to go out and have that rivalry and go in it with full force, full steam ahead.
Let me say this. The feeling is mutual. So this guy gets traded. He approved the trade there. And this was more from Sonny Gray, saying he never even wanted to be a Yankee when the Yankees acquired him at the trade deadline in 2017.
New York just wasn't a good situation for me. It wasn't a great setup for me and my family. I never wanted to go there in the first place. When that was kind of happening, and we were in Oakland and, you know, I was getting traded, that was a long time ago. I never wanted to go there. So then I was there and it just kind of like, it just didn't really work for kind of who I am.
I mean, the revisionist history there is hilarious because when Sonny Gray became a Yankee, he said he always wanted to be a Yankee. In fact, he released a Players Tribune story saying that one of the baseball teams that really meant something to me growing up was the 2009 Yankees, the World Series winner with CC and AJ at the top of their rotation. That was the year after I graduated high school and had gotten drafted, but then decided to go to college, and it was right around the age where I was really trying to figure out if baseball was something that I could turn into a career. And I just remember loving to watch that Yankees team as they made their run that year and being so impressed by them, and I guess kind of pumped up about baseball by them, just getting very caught up in it. Sonny Gray doesn't like the Yankees because he sucked while pitching for the Yankees. That's what happened. Small market Sonny is what I refer to as Sonny Gray. Good luck in Boston. The second you implode against the Yankees in a big start, they are going to turn on you so quickly, and they should. Because I don't know if people are aware of such a thing, but Sonny Gray's career ERA against the Yankees is close to 5, including when they rocked him for 6 runs this year when he was pitching for the Cardinals in August. So I look forward to Judge taking him deep, and then Ben Rice following that one up with another bomb, as what happened earlier this year, repeating itself again, this time maybe at Fenway or maybe in the Bronx, who knows. But Sonny Gray was such a terrible Yankee. For him to rip the Yankees and say New York wasn't a good fit when you stunk here, dude, get over yourself. I'm telling you, he's trying to, placate the fans, say the right thing. Okay. The second he stinks it up in Boston, they will eat him alive there. Because the Red Sox media is, just as grueling, and the fan expectations can be just as tough as the Yankee fans on their own players. I mean, Sonny Gray yapping off with an ERA of 4.28 this past year really is something. But all right. Looking forward to that first Cam Schlittler versus Sonny Gray Yankees-Red Sox pitching battle this year. Can't wait. You ready for that one, Sonny?
Yeah, I understand the question there.
Oh, sorry. I confused Sonny Gray with Joe Schoen. 800-919-3776. Steve in Bootin, Bootin. Am I saying that correct, Steve?
Saying it correct. You're saying it correct, spelling it incorrect.
Well, you could blame my esteemed producer, Matt Bumbaka. He spelled it wrong.
No, he got it. He got it's phonetically correct.
Okay.
It's actually Boonton, Boonton, but it's Bootin is how it's said.
Well, you know what? Let me take everything I said bad about Bumbaka back because he knows I'm like Ron Burgundy. I will read what's ever on the screen, and he saved me there. So well done.
So I wanted to get back to the GM thing. When do you think the paradigm shift happened where the GM became more important than the coach? Because, I know you can't, if you're going to cook the dinner, you get the groceries, you can't do both jobs. But wasn't it always the coach that told the GM, I need these type of guys? Like Rex said he used to do that with Mr. T. And then when they brought in Idzik was like, nah, I'm doing this. When did they get the power? Why do they have the power?
Well, it's a good point, Steve. Every organization is different how they're set up. Right now, the Jets are set up where the Aaron Glenn-led, organization, he has final say over the general manager, Darren Muji. They work together, but if there's a big decision, Glenn will be the final decision maker. Previously, the Jets had Joe Douglas as the ultimate decision maker, and Robert Saleh, the head coach, reported to him. So the Jets have gone back and forth with that. When Parcells was the Jet coach, he controlled everything, right? Belichick controlled everything in New England. Andy Reid's got final say over Brett Veach in Kansas City. Kyle Shanahan's got say over John Lynch in San Fran. The Giants have set it up where Shane has more power than Dable. Shane hired Dable, but we've also seen instances where obviously the Giants have had coaches that have had more say over the GM. Like, we see this across sports. Some organizations are head coach driven, some are front office driven. I don't think the Giants should be driven by Joe Schoen. Right? They hire a new GM, and that new GM wants to pick the coach. Fine. But I think the biggest thing the Giants need to do is make sure that Joe Schoen is not involved in any entity with the organization going forward. He hasn't earned the opportunity. He's not done a good job. Again, Joe Schoen can't even tell you why he's the man for the job and give you a real answer that you should believe. He'll just say he understands your question. That's it. Billy in the truck, up next on the Michael K. Show with Jake Asman. What's up, Billy?
Hey, how you doing? Appreciate you taking the call. I was just gonna say, when it comes to Dart, I don't really have that much of a problem with him running around like that. If the team was 7-5, even like 6-6, but at this point, what are you trying to kill yourself for? But after I had a little bit more, because after hearing about Shane, how am I supposed to expect this guy to be able to find someone who can't even keep the rookies in check, and he can't even find a kicker? How am I supposed to expect or believe he's going to find the coach to tie it all together? We can't even get guys right now. I'm just sick and tired of these half blow-ups, these changing coaches, not changing GMs. Just get rid of it all. Blow it up. But thank God he understands the questions. What would we do?
Billy, I appreciate it. I think you speak for most Giants fans. Again, you look at the drafts, you look at some of the free agent signings, you look at some of the free agents they let walk, and what the explanation was for letting Saquon walk and McKinley walk. Oh, we like the guys we have internally. Really? You still feel that way a year later? Saquon's having a down year. I'll take him over Tyrone Tracy. Right? And also, let's not forget, Joe Schoen's also the one that gave Daniel Jones the big contract. And then they blamed the quarterback for why they couldn't win. Now they have the quarterback. They can't win. You blame the coach. You fire the coach. It looks exactly the same. Again, the Giants' job is an attractive one if Joe Schoen's not involved with it. And if John Mara is serious about actually getting his organization back on track, he needs to remove Joe Schoen as the general manager of his team, period. Fun show. Big thank you to Ray and Matt for producing. Make sure you're tuned in because DHR is live from the NHL store in Manhattan. Michael will be back with you tomorrow. My name is Jake Asman. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. Don Hahn Rosenberg coming up next right here on 880 ESPN New York, the ESPN New York app, and the ESPN New York YouTube channel.
No Michael K. Tuesday with Don Hahn and Rosenberg. The show's live from the NHL store at Manhattan West Plaza. Mark Messier's style.